Some cars are just, well, they're just machines, right? They get you from point A to point B. But every now and then, a car becomes something more. It becomes a statement, a symbol of pure grit, and the living, breathing form of a lifelong dream. Today, we're going to get into the story of one of those cars.
And this quote? Man, it just nails the whole idea, doesn't it? It's the spirit of any true creator. And while a lot of us car lovers know it by heart, it's really the guiding light for the entire story we're about to jump into.
Yeah, because this isn't just about some famous quote on a poster. This is about how one guy, Felix Estrella, took that exact philosophy and, with his own two hands, turned a pile of steel and scrap into a piece of art that absolutely screams down the road.
So let's meet the man behind all this metal. We're talking about a 33-year-old fabricator and welder from Bakersfield, California, who pretty much lives and breathes that idea of building what you just can't buy.
See, for Felix, there's really no line between his day job and his true passion. By trade, he's building strong, custom stuff for other people. But when he clocks out, he goes home to his garage and does the exact same thing, but for himself, always pushing his skills. It all comes down to a simple belief. Why buy it if you know you can make it better yourself?
All right, so every great project has an origin story, right? And this one didn't start with a fancy blueprint or a big budget. Nope. It all started with the curiosity of a young kid, a fascination that sparked a lifelong mission.
The journey really kicks off when Felix is just 11 years old. He was totally mesmerized by his neighbor, a guy named Stan, who was always wrenching on hot rods and muscle cars. Stan kind of became his mentor, taking him to his first car shows, and that's where the seed was planted. But the real light bulb moment came when Stan introduced him to a very specific style of car.
And this was it, the concept that changed everything for him, the rat rod. It's not about shiny paint jobs or perfect smooth lines. It's all about being raw, real, and just unapologetically mechanical. When Felix saw pictures of these cars, he thought, that's it, that's me. The whole idea of building something so honest and unfiltered just clicked.
So, with that vision locked in his mind, the build began. And let me tell you, this was not some clean, by-the-book process. This next part is all about being resourceful, getting creative, and putting in a whole lot of hard work.
Yeah, forget about a kit car. Felix started with hand-me-down parts and pure, raw passion. He literally took his first measurements while sitting on a block of wood, just holding a steering wheel to get the feel right. And, to make things work, they welded in parts from a barbecue grill. Seriously, this was all about creativity. And get this, in just 9 months, he went from an idea in his head to a rolling chassis, a real car.
From that humble beginning of wood blocks and barbecue parts, an absolute monster rose from the ashes. And now we get to the really fun part, seeing what all that grit and grease actually created.
Let's just look at the specs for a second, because they're wild. Under the hood, you've got a 383 Chevy small block, dyno tested at 518 horsepower. But here's the kicker. All that power is pushing a car that weighs only 1,800 pounds. That power-to-weight ratio is just a recipe for pure, untamed speed. Oh, and the audio system? Earbuds. Because like Felix says, the engine is the only soundtrack you need.
To really put that into perspective for you, think about it like this. Felix's rat rod has 1 horsepower for every 3.47 pounds. Your typical modern sports car, it has 1 horsepower for every 7 or 8 pounds. This thing is just raw, unfiltered power. It wasn't engineered for comfort, it was engineered for a direct connection between the driver, the machine, and the road.
But for Felix, this car was never about trophies or showing off. He built it for himself. As he says, the second he fires up that engine, it's his own form of peace. Doesn't matter how bad the day was. That roar is his escape. It's a personal sanctuary he built with his own 2 hands.
So as we start to wrap this up, it becomes really clear that this story is about so much more than just a car. It's about a mindset, a community, and a legacy that's literally built on ingenuity and brotherhood, and sometimes shoelaces.
See, driving a fully custom car like this, it comes with challenges, but that's part of the fun. A broken throttle cable on the road isn't a disaster. It's a problem you solve with a shoelace. A valve adjustment after a race, you do it right there at the gas station. It's all about figuring things out on the fly. And, as Felix says, that's what makes you a builder.
And you have to know, he wasn't alone in this, not even close. While Felix was the mastermind, this car carries the fingerprints of everyone who helped out. His mentor Stan, his friends, his family. Everyone who handed him a wrench or stayed late in the garage is a part of this machine.
It's a real testament to community.
So, after pouring his entire heart and soul into this creation, after building something so uniquely his, you just gotta wonder, right? What car does he dream about owning one day? A vintage Ferrari? A classic Porsche, maybe? Well, his answer is simple, and it's perfect. I built mine. He doesn't have a dream car on a poster because his dream is parked right in his own garage. It's the ultimate payoff to that Porsche quote we started with.
And that pretty much brings us to the final thought. Felix's story is just this powerful reminder that the things we create with our own hands, the things fueled by passion and shared with our community, they often become the things we value the most. It just leaves you with one simple question to think about. What dream are you waiting to build?